Welcome to our third and final lesson on Punnett squares. And these are the challenging ones. These are the ones that are called dihybrid. We already know something about dihybrid because we see the prefix di, so we know we're dealing with two alleles. Okay, so again, just a little bit of background. So sometimes when geneticists are doing this, they're going to be looking at two traits instead of just one. So we're going to make a dihybrid cross, if we're just talking two. It's going to look really scary, but when you think about it, it's very, very similar to what we do with the monohybrid crosses. Okay, so here's our example. We're going to cross a hybrid spotted purple alien with a striped heterozygous orange alien. And we're going to do the same way. Okay, we're going to step one. What are the traits we're looking at? We are looking at spotted. We are looking at purple. We are looking at striped. And we're looking at orange. Okay, now's the challenge. We have to figure out what's dominant and what's recessive. Okay, hybrid spotted. So if it's a hybrid, we know the alleles are different. And in order for it to be spotted, spotted's got to be the dominant allele. So let's call that big S. That means that striped is going to be little s. Again, make sure your s's are distinguishable as far as uppercase and lowercase. Okay, we've got purple and we've got orange. Again, the same deal. I've got a heterozygous orange. And in order for it to be orange, I know I have to have a dominant allele in there. So my dominant allele is going to be O. My spotted is going to be the little o. Okay? Step number 2. Genotype of the parents. Hybrid spotted. Okay, hybrid's going to be different. So we got big S, little s. Purple. Purple is recessive. So it's going to be little o, little o. And we're going to cross that with a striped. Okay, again, striped is little s. It's recessive, so we know we can't have any dominant alleles there. So we've got S, S, and heterozygous orange. Again, heterozygous is different, so I've got a big O, little o. Step number 3, and this is the scary part, the Punnett square, because we're going to have 16 squares in this sucker. So we're going to draw a big Punnett square. Maybe big enough. Okay, so remember independent assortment. It says that different genes don't affect how others separate. So we go to an old math trick called FOIL when we're doing these here, because we're going to end up with 4 letters in each of these squares. So we know that this big S can go with this little o. So there's my S and my O. We also know that this big S can go with this little o. I know this little s can go with my little o. And I know this little s can also go with this little o. Whoops, sorry. Let me fix that because I won't be able to read my own writing later. Okay, that's parent number 1. Parent number 2, we're going to do the same thing. I know that this little s can go with my big O, or it can go with my little o. So we've got a little s, big O, little s, little o. Again, my little s can go with this big O, or it can go with the little o. Okay, now comes the really tricky part. Carry everything down, carry everything across. So I've got an S, I've got a big S here, I've got a little s here. I've got a big O here, I've got a little o here. I've got a big S, a little s, big O, little o. I have a little s, big O, little o. I have a little s, with a big O, little o. Second row. Again, I've got my big S with my little s, And I got two little O's, big S, little S, two little O's, little, 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 and again, little, 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 little. My next row, big S, little s, big O, little o, big S, little s, big O, little o, little s, big O, little o, little, little, big, little. My last row, big S, little s, little, little, big S, little, 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 and again, little, 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 little. Okay, now we get to figure out what all this stuff means. And I'm going to switch colors just because it's going to help me to identify things. So I'm still looking for my genotype of my offspring. So I got 16 to choose from now instead of just 4. Okay, I got a big S, big O, little o. I've got one here. I've got one here. I've got one here. And I've got one here. So I've got 4 out of my 16. I have little, little, big, little, 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 big, little, 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 big, little, 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 big, little, 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 big, little. Do I have any more little, little, big, littles? I don't think so. Again, 4 out of 16. What else have I got here? I got a big, little, little, little. Big, little, little, little. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. And what do I have left? I have little, 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 little. I've got 1 here, 2, 3, 4. So let's figure out what these guys look like. Big S, okay, so I got dominant allele here, I've got dominant allele here. My dominant allele was spotted and orange. So these are going to be spot and orange. Okay, here I don't have a dominant allele, so it's going to be striped and orange. Okay, big dominant allele, so I've got spotted. And again, no dominant allele on my colors, so it's going to be spotted and purple. And then my last one are just all going to be striped and purple. And again, I ran out of room, so I kind of condensed everything. But this is a dihybrid cross. Again, don't panic. These are kind of the cream on top of the pie, if you want to think of it that way, as far as what if they're going to be on a test or not. So again, they're kind of fun to do. I always like figuring out what the parents are. This part gets a little busy, but it's all part of it. And it's always cool to see what the percentages are going to be when we start looking what the offspring are. So anyway, if you have problems, get hung up, again, contact us, and we'll be glad to help you. And I'll talk to you on Monday.